sign up from there, but I realize it's not practical for everybody to do that. So I do have some information about the players.
All right. All right. So, Marsh, Zeus, and Poseidon. Ah, that's fun.
In the west, we've got Bobby as the red Poseidon, and in the east, we've got KingNarVi as the blue Zeus.
Definitely nice to see that right now bobibobi is going to be tasting the Poseidon, which is actually not a bad god overall. All the Greeks are pretty decent on the patch. You definitely cannot basically pick wrong. In this matchup, usually the Zeus is favored, and it's mostly because of the better mythic units and myth overall, because Greeks inherently have problems with myth units, and you have to defend against them with myth units. So of course, the one who has bonus on that is going to be on top. So that's usually the thinking in there.
Yeah, with Zeus having access to centaurs that much more than Poseidon does, it's going to be very difficult. And Poseidon normally has to play quite defensively or get in these ginormous raids with a lot of cavalry.
And that's actually a pretty nice relic in the middle of the map for better unit line of sight. That's gonna help with raiding quite immensely. That should be coming for the Poseidon as soon as possible.
Either player could be picking it up. Both of them would benefit. We also got the Scare Pendant, which is absolutely insane in the later game.
Yeah, most definitely. For the Helipolite, that's going to be even pretty scary. And the relic at the bottom is actually not bad either. For faster infantry build time, that could be making for pretty good hoplite raid in the Mythic Rage for the Zeus. That could be quite strong for him, but not really sure what we're going to be seeing in the Classical Age. Better 10 villager percent, 10% villager speed, also quite nice in the defense against Raiden. But I would be probably expecting both players going for Hippicons and just trying to outmaneuver their opponents.
I think we're also going to see a pretty symmetrical TC layout, so definitely no advantage to either player in a significant way like that.
Yeah, the positioning of the front TCs is quite interesting, because it doesn't yield basically any kind of tactical advantage at all. It's just extra population and that's it. It doesn't do anything else, which will make the middle lane, well, probably a big battlefield for the remainder of the game. Be kinda expecting, but Hunt at the back next to the TC for KingNarVi seems to be pretty good position for him, and that's probably what he's gonna go for. Kinda interesting if either of the players is gonna choose to go for front TC as the next one, as the second one. Because I'll be thinking that both are gonna choose fast classical TC. I don't see a reason why not to.
I'm guessing that King will go for the Centaur advantage early and delay second TC.
And that could be some kind of idea from him, but at the same time I'm not exactly thinking that he could be fast enough to actually take down the second TC being built.
Yeah, I agree. But then he's going to be forcing Bobby to keep all his villagers very close to both of his town centers, so he's going to get all the map control. So yeah, it's going to be one of the two things, as you mentioned, both taking a quick second town center or hopefully some aggression, but we'll see what happens. So actually, things are more interesting.
When you look at this right now, it seems actually that the centaurs might be quite rather important into the game, because the way it's spawned, bobibobi doesn't have any kind of safe resources. He has everything in the front, like literally everything, both hunt and gold. So if actually KingNarVi can use those centaurs properly, he could be strangling him quite alright. It's actually a pretty good pickup on that.
Yeah, it could actually be very meaningful in terms of hunt. If those hunting spots can't be kept for the villagers, then that could snowball very, very hard. Especially considering that Narvi is the one with all the pigs picked up. We're at a 15-6 disadvantage on the pigs. If you're looking at it from Bobby's perspective. So yeah, that's very important for Bobby to keep having a hunt.
Okay, so that's probably going to be quite a significant issue. And what I'm thinking might be forcing him into the front TC at the bottom, because it at least provides some kind of protection to villages on the boars and the cranes.
There's also a 30-second difference in advance times right now.
That's actually quite a lot.
Is King training a centaur
Yes.
for Odysseus?
He's right now going
Jason
with
for now.
second
I'm pretty sure
villager.
there will be. I think this is the 2 centaur, 2 hero push, but there's no house being made, so the oh, he's
Just
throwing
now.
down 2 houses
Apparently
now.
forgot about it. Shootout between centaurs in Red's base. But yeah, Zeus coming up on that. But actually the blue one could have won. Because the red missed the second hit. And if
Yeah.
the blue didn't, he could have actually won the battle in there. Yeah, well, not going to be seen the resolution to that. Both are right now in 127.
This TC is certainly coming up now. Nice bolt, but ceasefire can be used here.
It should be probably used already.
There
Needs
you go.
to be expecting exactly the hero and the second centaur coming up.
And
but
he's
it's
actually
also already kind of a victory right now for blue, that he forced the ceasefire this early.
Yep, so now he doesn't have C's when the centaurs find a good raid, and he's also throwing down a stable, so it doesn't look like he plans to go to TCs himself. That's risky, but it should make for a more interesting game for sure.
He will have to be the aggressor like this. A lot of pickoffs have to be done in order to make up for that extra villager production that Bobby is going to have.
Yeah, most definitely.
Then again, Bobby is going to have a more difficult time getting units. So you have to hold with good building positioning and good hero use.
And also right now bobibobi is doing a pretty good job of walling at the top. That's exactly what's needed, because he wants to basically make sure that the TC is not going to be abused. Because he's already out of the ceasefire, so he knows that he basically needs to do it by his own, or rather on his own. And yes, centaurs in a bad position.
The one villager did survive because centaurs on the patch are weaker than in the base game. It now takes 3 of them to fully kill a villager with the special attack.
So yeah, but somehow, or rather so far, bobibobi is playing exactly as you would be expecting, as you're analyzing that he definitely will need to, going for the front TC to secure the hunt, and even a bit more in there, walling himself in, so he's probably right about now. I wouldn't be surprised if he attempted to go some faster Titan, because it's not like he has all that many options against the Zeus, because he's probably going to be giving up the map control most probably.
Also, nice job from Bobby picking off one villager at the top who was building the TC.
Hippicons coming up from the Zeus. That's going to be one stable, second stable coming up just now. For red it's 2 stables as well. But he isn't really producing so far, right? At least what I could see.
No, the red stables are completely idle until just I started talking. The caster curse!
Right now, still building kind of curious balls right now with bobibobi. Not having enough scouting right next to... What? Why is he making it this way? Why doesn't just he finish with the wall in there? Not sure. But there's probably going to be some idea behind it. Not really expecting that could be some kind of mistake. But coming for 30C. Houses all across. For the red player, as blue is still at 2. Coming for the 3 also. But yeah, he's basically controlling the map overall. Both the Hippicons and the Centaurs. But it might be coming to a bit of an end. Because as you said, the Hippicons are coming up for red.
It's going to take quite a while for map control to really matter, because both players have actually secured a lot of hunt and gold mines with walls and whatnot.
Very interesting wall at the bottom there.
Yeah. I was just looking at it a bit earlier. I really cannot understand why he built it that way. But yeah, that's what happened in there. And it's going to be sticking with him for the rest of the game, apparently.
Yeah, perhaps he wanted to make KingNarVi pay for it, but it didn't work out.
Yeah, we are right now probably going to be in a bit of a part of the game where not much is going to be happening, because red is not really raiding, he's just booming. Whereas blue is trying to raid, but of course, he cannot really get through the defense all that much.
I'm surprised King hasn't been more aggressive with his centaurs, because Hippolyta doesn't have very fast move speed or tracking, so he probably can be running around deeper in.
Just now going to be, for example, comparing economies. Well, Heroic Age coming for the Zeus, for KingNarVi. That's going to be fairly soon in there. For Poseidon it's going to be a bit later, because of course he's spending a lot of resources on more villages for a bit longer. But still, 3 TCs are right now up for both. And KingNarVi is 200 points ahead. That's actually a significant difference.
Got more villagers, he's got better economy upgrades, and he's got really well-positioned walls, so he's not very vulnerable at all.
Yeah, the
Nice.
Centaurs actually didn't do much work at all. I think they killed like 2 villagers this game, and that has not made up for the earlier second TC.
Yeah, not even close.
Yeah, most definitely not. So far, a bit of a radiant right now by Hippicons on the gold, but they are still pursued by the Centaurs, and that's not really any kind of sign that more would be coming up.
Yeah, I do
So
feel that
Heroic
KingNarVi
Age-
hasn't been really playing to Zeus's advantages in this matchup, which would have been the heavy myth unit play. Instead, he's trying to match what Poseidon would be doing. Now there's a bunch of Centaurs coming in, but my question is it too late for that?
I'm right now kind of halfway thinking that his aim is actually get into a mythical age, that he doesn't really want to fight here anymore all that much. He just wants to be slightly annoying to his opponent, and I'm really not sure if either of the players is going to be aiming for some faster Titan or just some full-on mythical fighting. So far, I wouldn't be surprised by Titan by bobibobi at all, because he is the one in the defensive setup. So yeah, let's wait for that. Military Academy coming up.
Yeah, you're right. He should be able to crush this attack with Curse. Plus his own army.
Yeah, you're welcome, Chaos.
What?
Mistake with the with the Toon command in there. But a lot of villies on a hand at the bottom that could be potentially taken off from bobibobi. He's having 16 hunters next to the bottom TC. That's actually quite significant. Asprodromos is the unit of choice for him. Anchors, and of course he's going to be forcing right now Zeus to retreat.
By the way, you should put allied chat on so that they don't see all of our commands.
They shouldn't be seeing it, I think. Because the chat works that once you launch a game, you are, or rather the default chat is team chat. Even though
And
it
all
isn't
they'll
selected.
see,
Or some
all they'll
such.
see is !T, not the actual output.
Right, but it could still, you know, if we're looking for specific timings, it could give some information to the players.
I actually think that only V2 see it, Chaos, and Observer. Actually,
I
don't
think
think
when
they
I was
see it.
playing, I saw it.
Yeah?
Okay.
Okay, so good to know. Because that would be a different behavior than what is actually normal. Because normal is basically team chat.
Okay.
Even though it doesn't show on the chat window.
Both players are going Mythic through Hephaestus, so it looks like we're gonna have a Mythic fight here.
So Hephaestus, yeah, from both of those. Well, of course we know who's gonna win in Colossi battle in here. Not very much of a question of that.
The good thing that red is ahead because otherwise can't compete late game in this fight. Doesn't have underworld and his favor bonus isn't there, and he's got worse hoplites. So we'll see what happens here.
I'm actually fairly surprised that the Poseidon didn't take Earthquake. I think that's actually strictly better God power, especially in this matchup, because he cannot make use of the Colossi the same as his opponent, so it cannot be a really counterplay. It's just
I think
not
he
gonna
would have
work.
had to do something with Heroic Age in that case, but he really didn't set up map control in the Heroic Age, which is the one time where Poseidon actually can. And thus, without any means to put on pressure immediately after Earthquake. I don't know, I think our Zeus player is quite a bit ahead here.
He just lost 4 centaurs though.
He definitely
Yeah.
did, right now coming into the Mythic. But the point with the Earthquake also is that he basically deletes Titan Gate. He can just have Titan against 0. So
now another advantage for a Zeus player is that he's researching Forge of Olympus, whereas Poseidon is researching Divine Blood instead.
yeah, and he really cannot go for all that intensive stuff on the favor, because he just cannot generate it fast enough. He'll be just having to get a lot of villages on that, which is definitely not effective. So yeah, not really sure that Hephaestus is going to be working that well for him.
I mean, the two upgrades were the same cost, so it was just the choice of going for Divine Blood first, which I think is a bit questionable in this situation. He's just gonna fall behind in upgrades, and he's actually trying to amass a bunch of Hetyroi.
Yeah, just right now looking at the economy all around, and a bit the random placement of the farms at the bottom. Needed a curious wall.
Oh, wow.
That has to hurt certain players that actually like to be having everything neat and tidy. It's kind of interesting, really absolutely random all across the game. Going to be coming for Temple, and he seems to be really quite interested in producing a lot of Colossi. So it's going to be an interesting battle between him. But Hoplites are the unit of choice for NarVi, but he doesn't have all that many upgrades, just mediums. Copper weapons, but he's waiting for Forge of Olympus, right? Copper shields coming up, Watchtower, Fortified TC for both. Well, right now the options are definitely running out for the Poseidon. And because his special unit are horses, and he's going to be facing super strong Hoplites on the other hand. So that's probably not gonna work that well.
Be interesting to see if King gets crenellations. He
Yeah,
does have
will.
a trade going while Bobby does not, so that's an advantage.
And he's also quite nicely walled off. It seems that he's basically all around. Oh, he's having some idle Hoplites at the top in there. Well, they could come in handy if he's surprised on the trade. So that could actually be
Those
a bit
are
of a-
almost certainly not gonna do much. The Hoplites are basically the same speed, so they can't run away.
But at least will be able to help in here, if he notices them, that is. As right now they are trying to take down the TC, and they do have quite nice bonus against buildings, of course. To 150%, so that's decent, but still the attack is kinda low. And all the upgrades on the Fortified TC, that's already Masons on there. Fortified, so yep, finally Hoplites are noticed that they
They
can be
also
coming
have
in.
crenellations right now, which is
But-
gonna make every shot hit.
Also, we are looking at Hetyrois on the bottom, so he's just now trying to raid at as many places as possible, which might be some kind of idea, because if he is forcing the Zeus to divide its forces, he is slightly better maneuverable, slightly, ever so slightly, and it's going to be then up to skill, up to individual skill and micromanagement, which would be pretty much fair, of course. Battle in the middle, going alrightishly for a red until all the Hoplites came. We are getting up in upgrades, all bronze for them already. For red, are we seeing what upgrades? None. No upgrades whatsoever. And champion Hoplites just now hitting. Okay, so this is gonna get scary right now for it. Even though he's trying to raid.
It's gonna be extremely difficult to take fights. I even don't think that Hyperspace would be even able to take it up with those hoplites right now. They're too highly upgraded.
Yeah, they're just going to be a bit too good right now. Fortress finished, even though it was under attack by a few Hetyrois, it's not going to be enough. The gold is in pretty nice control for blue, so he doesn't really need, or rather have any luck of it. He's also having quite nice trade, so he really seems to be poised to control the game. A lot of upgrades coming up. Bronze mail, bronze shields for Bobby, for NarVi, iron weapons, iron mail, so he's already up his opponent. So yeah, right now the Hoplites, they are gonna be pretty strong. Nice reaction by red though, with all the towers, that could definitely help. Especially since he was going for some upgrades on them a bit earlier. But yeah, you can see the DPS is just brutal from all those Hoplites, and they're just a bit too soon, or rather a bit too fast. But the militias, they are exactly what he needed just about now.
It does help him push this army away for now. A more solid siege needs to be set up to really finish this game, I think. But KingNarVi definitely has the means to do that right now.
Yeah, he does have the fortresses, so potentially Helepoli could be already coming into play. And he could be sneaking in from the right side, from the gold position where he has the fortress. Where he's actually being attacked right about now by a hidden fortress. In the middle of the map, it's actually nicely played. Right now by bobibobi. And it's probably something that actually Blue hasn't noticed all that much. It could be kind of tricky for him.
It's up to Narvi. If he can stabilize now, he's got a very nice trade route going. Should be able to transition into Hela Plus and Colossus spam and take control of this game.
Yeah, so Titans are coming up for both of them. It's going to be a bit of a race who can be faster, and much more importantly, if Red can actually defend against the underworld passage. Especially looking at the hoplite heavy army. I'm not thinking that he can all that much. He might not even need the underworld passage for that. He might just run there, because they are fast enough. They are not really bad at all.
I think that you might be right about that. It would have to be placed somewhere in the very towered up location, but then still, Underworld Passage just lets them get in.
Right now at the bottom, that seems to be going alright for it. He's going to be probably moving into the fortress in there. But already stone walls are up in enough numbers, but still doesn't seem to be quite enough. And there's Radiant at the top, which is stalled by some hoplites. So it seems like that both players are paying enough attention, basically all across the map. Even though still Blue could be doing a bit more into the Radiant, as Red is having unsafe gold mining at the very top of the map. Definitely could be targeted for him, but he's probably just a bit too consumed by having to defend himself right now.
If he can switch from the defensive mindset into offensive, he should be okay, but Bobby doing such a good job keeping the pressure up.
I'm just right now absolutely missing the Colossi, considering that he's having 8 villages on favor.
Ooh.
Like...
Titan Gate might not survive.
Yeah, it will not, because do you see in the middle the Tyro is coming up?
Oh man.
That's going to be a bit tricky.
Even the 4 could be killing it. Oh, ceasefire is immediately being used.
Right.
That's
early. Helping Bobby as well.
That's actually too early. He should have waited until the second flank was there. Right now he's going to be facing a lot of them, even though it will help him as far as actually hoplites go. At this point, he definitely needs to get line of sight on the enemy Titan Gate. Because as soon as he deals with those Tyros, he needs to go to the other Titan Gate and delete it. That's going to be the best spot for him. He has all the hoplites at one place. And there's some and some pixel art or something going on at the top. Apparently.
What?
You're gonna be seen pretty soon. Yeah, those Tyros are kinda toast. That's gonna be horrible slaughter.
Bobby doing a very nice job though of using the ceasefire time to get his own map control, get all his walls up.
That's actually not a bad spot, because not that many hoplites can get there. Oh well. I was kind of thinking that maybe he could have just let the Tyros be in there, because you could have seen only just a handful of the hoplites could attack them. But right now he's just run.
I think that Titan Gate could have fallen there.
I was also kind of looking at it that it might have, because the hoplites just couldn't get at them.
Yeah, but moving away and going back is definitely worse than just leaving or just staying. The in-between house in this situation is always bad.
Yeah, and just now basically fully missed opportunity. And right now, if he had line of vision on the enemy Titan Gate, he could have killed it with all the hoplites. That was just tactical mistake, I think. He should have scouted for that by literally anything. He could have sent one unit in there.
Do you guys think the Titan of Bobby could reach the other side before it finishes?
Probably not. I think he will outline it.
Yeah, not with the correct ghost builds. And we see at the bottom KingNarVi pushing up for an aggressive fortress to try to deny that trade.
That's
he puts a couple walls up, that could be very effective.
But he also needs to be taking care of the middle, because he's not living in there. The tower spam from bobibobi is doing quite alright. Even though Blue right now is trying to actually do something against that. He's going to be faced with the Titan pretty soon, whereas his Titan is still base off.
I think those Atari are trying to slow down the Titan Gate once more. which
They
would give
probably
the
will.
Titan the opportunity to get there. And they're
Okay.
not being blocked out. Okay, they're gonna get there, no
Ooh,
doubt
yeah.
now.
Oh,
Yep.
this is pretty bad. This is pretty bad
The
for
hop
Navi,
lights
but
are
very well
not
played
in
by
position.
Bobby. This is well played. Oh
They're
man.
getting it.
Just ran right by. He missed some,
Oh yeah,
some time
he
though.
missed actually. This might be costing him. This
It would
miss.
definitely slow it down. But will it be enough?
Yeah, the Titan is probably gonna get there now.
A nice tower spam from Bobby though.
But of course, Titan is right now coming through the bottom because he doesn't have all that many buildings in there. It's going to be safer route for him. So yeah, nice attempts, but or not. Absolutely. And of course, I'm still missing the Helepola right about now, because once you are facing Titan, you need to auto-queue Helepoli. They are super effective against Titans, as basically same as catapults.
Yeah.
One
Let's
thing to
miss
note
it.
here is that King has 9,000 gold and 3,500 food. So he's got a lot of resources.
Wow.
Yeah, the only thing he'll be losing out on now is map control, but he has established a side build in the corner in the bottom, and he's also queuing Colossi there, so he could probably go for a counter at some point, but he has to abandon the Titan Gate. Very nice play by Bobby.
Yeah, so Titan Gate is gone. But I don't really think that it's actually game over. It still definitely isn't, because KingNarVi is very much in the game.
Got a ton of stockpiled resources,
Yeah.
and he still has Underworld.
Right now he's coming into the gold at the top, trying to basically stop what's happening in there. Not really exactly sure what's the idea, because there's nothing all that significant, as at the same time he is himself losing the gold on the right and basically all the military buildings in there. So he's going to be down to production in the middle. And his problem is that he actually cannot move around the map fast enough. He's having all the army, just the hoplites. And that's where he is. He's nowhere else. So he needs to somehow use strategically the Titan, or rather the Underworld Passage. He's going to be even losing TC on the right apparently to Hetairois.
Wow, no way.
That's...
They're doing so much damage, and nothing is being done about it. This could be disastrous, as both of the TCs will be going down at the same time, and the houses are very exposed, very easy to take out with that
Right now at
Titan.
1 TCs, well, that's not good for him. Even though he has stopped the trade at the bottom, through the wall in and whatnot, and he doesn't have resources all that much, he needs the pop limit, obviously. And it's going to be very hard for him to take up, because of course the Hetairois are going to be all present, and it's going to be just too easy for them to delay the building of that.
Yeah, once that hoplite army is dealt with, actually there's very little left in terms of what military Narvi can use, because he just doesn't have the DCs.
Right now he's at least trying to basically respond in kind. He's probably gonna take down the town center at the back, it seems like, for Red. Yeah, he doesn't have any kind of defense in, which might be actually helping him a bit more than one would expect, because of course the Titan is also another 20 population limit, so he's basically playing at 2 town centers with normal army. He's going to be down to the same numbers as he is, as KingNarVi is.
Though he'll be taking out that last TC as well, preventing Belartham from getting out as well. That's awesome.
Right now stopping KingNarVi from coming with the TC, so that's going to be 0 for him.
I think that TC is gonna stay alive for Bobby actually, just a few more villagers repairing, and that should be enough.
Yeah,
But
it
so
seems like
many are still gathering instead. This is gonna be... I was gonna say
he's gonna
close.
survive.
It's gonna be
Yeah,
fine
the towers
now.
are too much extra damage in there. That's something that actually KingNarVi underestimated quite significantly. And not only... This is going to be a problem, because he lost quite a significant chunk of his army. And he doesn't have the pop limit to rebuild it. So right now he's going to be kinda naked. Without anything.
And that Titan is just bouncing between the TCs.
Yeah, he will.
The heroes are gonna be attempted to be picked off now.
And here again, Hetairois at the top trying to stop the TC, but they are this time. Well, I was going to say not really going to be effective, but even the 3 guys in there took a significant chunk out of the town center under construction. Which of course is right now going to be helping Red, but it's almost looking like the Red, even though he did have the opportunity, he's kinda losing grip. I don't see all that many of him, or rather all that much of him. And I'm seeing blue stabilizing.
Narvi is a 0 TC now. For the moment at least.
Be back up to 2 very shortly.
Yeah, the trade, that sucks. All the donkeys exactly at the wrong spot right now. That might actually be hurting him in the long run. Because he's not gathering gold anywhere.
Ooh, the free Colossi sieging the South DC. That could be problematic. There's no heroes on the way.
And it almost looks like that actually Red doesn't know. Because he will be repairing at this stage already.
Yeah, he's not looking at this. It really looks like that PC is gonna fall. And then the market could be taken out.
That's exactly what should have happened about, I don't know, 10 minutes earlier already by KingNarVi with the Colossi. But at least it's happening, and it's of course working for him.
Titan's now down to about half of its original health.
Yeah, the Titan is right now becoming a handicap, to be honest. Because he's eating too much population limit. And you can see he's not being dealt with 20 population limit. He's having just about, I don't know, a few of those. He can kill the town center here and there. But it seems like that the problems are a bit bigger right now for bobibobi, who is dropped to 2 TCs. Colossi trying to get rid of the towers. He should just right now be concentrating on the TC not coming up. Yeah, right now he is. That's exactly correct. Still a lot of fighting in the middle. A few hit arrows in here and there, but not really all that many of them. I'm gonna check into Red. He's popped. But he doesn't have army. He might have overdone on trade at this stage. Can we actually, Nakamura, check how many civilians does he have? He might be having a bit too much.
Yeah, it's at 80 right now. Narvi has below 60.
You need to check into graphs to see even donkeys and whatnot, I think.
It shows the donkeys.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, 80?
80 total to below 60.
That's kind of weird then. He's actually not able to be putting up a bit more of a fight because Titan is dying. And he hasn't really done anything significant. He is still not in the power of the middle of the map. It's more or less in power of blue, especially if the top of the map is in his power, which will allow him to go for the TC yet again, which is half health.
Note that because Narvi has so many less civilian units, his resources have depleted significantly. He's now down to 500 food and about 1500 wood and gold.
Yeah, so he's going to be running out, so he definitely needs to be starting, or rather start to be efficient. So still 1600 hit points on the Titan as towers are coming up. Definitely not going for the town center yet, with the Titan being in here. But it seems like he's going to be quite fine with the two. Just for the moment, and it seems to be just working for him. But he definitely needs to invest a whole lot more into Colossi. Because that's the unit that's gonna win him the game. Colossi and Helepoli. Those are two units that he needs to use as a Zeus in this battle.
Titan shouldn't last much longer because Bellerophon's now here.
It's almost looking like that actually he's trying to steal the TC from KingNarVi or whatnot. He's right now dropping a guard tower right inside his base. It almost looked like that he was really aiming for it, but 3 TCs up. Titan, yeah, he's dead. He's having all the heroes on him, all 4 of them. So he's gonna fight.
Yeah, that won't be lasting long anymore.
Yeah, he is dead, which means that finally there might be some kind of chance for KingNarVi to finally somehow come back. As looking at the map control, really it's pretty much his. He's playing really well in that regard. He's ready all across the map, and as soon as he doesn't have to deal with the big dude, he might be really ready for some pretty heavy attack, but he passes a pretty good reaction. And
yeah, those are definitely helping a lot against these hoplite heavy armies. Now Siege needs to be properly used, but it's just gonna be Hyperspace Wars? What?
Should be, again, Helepolis going out, but
yeah,
both players don't have many fortresses.
Yeah, Hyperspace is also coming from blue, so it's going to be really...
That's exactly what I was looking for. Narvi has 1, that's it. And there's 2 for Bobby.
Huh. So how's this gonna go? Because right now Red is pushing forward quite alright. You're gonna with the fortress in there.
Well, he's gonna lose out in direct fights.
Bobby is full pop while KingNarVi's only at 110.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, he is. He's absolutely out of pop.
He's out of food, yeah.
He's out of food. He hasn't been rebuilding the economy as he was losing it.
And he's
due to
just
the Titan.
starting on archery ranges and isn't producing from them. So actually, if there could be a siege push here, that right now could end the game.
It definitely could, because right now bobibobi is at full pop and he does have the extra resources, so he's definitely ready for what's going to come. And with the Titan coming down, it's going to be extra 20 population limit, and that will overwhelm Blue even more than the Titan.
Definitely, and that Bellerophon got surrounded but slipped away, very nice. Odysseus is on the Titan, however, which is undoubtedly going to fall within a few shots. There we go.
So Titan is gone. So extra pop right now coming up, so that was exactly already seen on the Petropoli, or other Petropolis coming from the fortress at the bottom.
Now the bottom walls are being remade by KingNarVi, probably a good opportunity to get some Colossi there, because he does have gold, that's not the problem. Food is, he does not have a lot of farms. 11.
Yeah, he really doesn't. He had probably most of them around the base TC, and even around the TC at the bottom, and he has basically lost them because of the Titan. And he just kind of forgot about it, it seems.
He's trying to do a towered Petropolis push. Should be enough to take out that one TC.
Yeah, it seems that it's going to be. Finally, he has at least upgraded the Petropoli, so that they are a bit more effective and whatnot. So they are gonna be pretty good unit. They are in some instances better than Helipoli because, of course, of their range. Especially in the Mythic range that sometimes just count.
Yeah, if you can do this whole towered push thing, then they're definitely a really good choice, but you really need to lock down the area. If a single or two units can sometimes go in to take them all out, that's not quite worth it.
Really nice Bellerophon micro here, kicking off all the siege.
Yeah, that's definitely working for him quite alright. Yeah, cannot get the next one. Just cannot get the next one. The other town center is still kinda alive, but also it means that 9 villages that were supposed to be building farms are not helping with the missing food economy.
Bobby
so that's
very
already
low on
working.
wood. He doesn't have any wood. He needs more guys there. He only has 10 gathering wood, and that's just not going to be enough to pump siege.
I'm just right now looking around the map if Blue is doing something different. Apparently not. He's not doing anything else than just trying to survive in the middle. And that's just trying to survive because, of course, he's having just like 120 population. Whereas Red is full popped all the time. But Toxots, they could be really working off. Champion Toxots against the Hypaspists. That will work.
Yeah, that's a massacre actually. Which is also why the production on Hypaspis has stopped.
And Peltas are coming up.
It's been restarted just now, so what do I know?
How's it looking with the economy for Blue? I still right now he's popped, so that's actually something for him. But Mythic units, please, Zeus Mythic units, just do them. There's no reason why not to, especially when they are close.
The town center is gonna go down here.
Yep, just now. That's actually at a time where he definitely couldn't use it, because this will give extra time to bobibobi. Just now, finally, KingNarVi got popped and was in a position that he could be coming back, and even Hippicons are right now making an appearance from Red, hoping to somehow break through. And this is definitely a nice reaction from both players, just switching the units as they need it, and we should be seeing, hopefully it's fairly soon back into the play. But he's also losing military buildings, and he doesn't have all that many left, to be honest.
Oh, that's a huge
that
siege
one
shot there.
Yes, doing
Well,
almost
he's having
1,000 damage.
something at the bottom in there.
It looks like he's gonna have enough siege production to keep this town center down for a little bit.
And right now the problem for him is that he's basically out of military academy in the middle of the map, and all his military academies are at the bottom, quite far away, and there are just about 5 of them in there, which is not really bad, but still they are quite far away from the battlefield, and he has to hope that he doesn't need to hop it sometime soon. Still the underworld passage is there for KingNarVi, but he doesn't really have a way to use it right now. And here again Petrobol's up. Deny
Yeah,
the
it's
TC.
doing about 800 damage per shot. That's massive.
more towers are being added as well, so that picking these guys off is gonna be more and more difficult. But then one of these towers is actually continually shooting at that storehouse, which is certainly not helping. But it does look like we might be looking at a very slow kill move here from Bobby.
Now, to be completely honest, how's it looking with number 2? I just want to check something. Yeah, he cannot. I was just looking. If he had enough resources, he could just fairly easily wander. It wouldn't be all that much of a counterplay, but he doesn't have the resources and economy for that. He seems to be basically fully drained. I'm just gonna check if maybe somebody forgot some upgrades. Sometimes happens, but doesn't seem so. Everything for red, for blue. Where are some villages? Also everything. So nobody has forgotten anything, so everybody's just fighting full on full. And some hippicons, so with the man lion into all those archers, so that could work.
That's a very interesting choice. I would have expected a bunch of Colossi to be on the field by now, which Narvi is trying to do, but of course if you are having so many barracks or auto queue, that's never gonna pop.
Right now finally one coming up. He doesn't have even upgrades, he's having just normal Colossi. Yeah, well, that's a shame.
Underworld passage is being used, and yeah, this is the GG Underworld, basically.
Yeah.
He's resigning.
Yeah. That's not even any kind of misclick, because, of course, he doesn't have vision anywhere else, so yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, nicely played by bobibobi, actually. There were moments where we were thinking that actually Zeus, or rather KingNarVi, should be winning against him. Helipolis coming. But where did it come from? Where did the Helipolis come from exactly?
I think he went into the underworld from the other side.
Yeah.
How could he? Yeah, well, how did he get it? I thought I saw everything in there. Apparently not. He definitely had to have come from the fortress at the top. Into underworld. That totally confused me right there. That was well, pretty weird. But of course, right now the map control seems to be really coming into red. He's having the fortress in there, all the military buildings that he needs right in the battlefield, which is of course helping him significantly. And his opponent, no siege, just archers. Only siege is basically the Colossus, and that's it. But with Polyphemus being in there, Hippolyta as well, probably not going to be having that long of a lifespan.
Had a lot of Colossi being produced, I think that Underworld could have been still useful, and this might have been a premature troll Underworld.
Is that the Silver Colossus now?
Once he gets the gold version, they're gonna get more hack armor, so it's gonna be much more difficult to take them out. But I think it's just too late now, there's too many buildings.
Yeah, the building spam is definitely nice right now, and KingNarVi is just now recognizing that it's going to be just a bit too much for him. But he really did defend quite nicely, but unfortunately, yeah, well, some misplays in there, not really playing through God's strength. As the mythical wins we're just missing, the Colossi that should be auto-queue instantly once you reach mythical age. That's basically your power spike.
And yeah, Bobby takes the tournament actually, right?
No, it's best of 3.
Best of 3, and has the second one. So he has won both of these games. He has won with Ra, and right now with Poseidon, so he has won.
What?
So congratulations.
But yeah,
Or
it's
it
best
like...
of 3, so it's over, right?
No,
because he won 2 games already.
So the first game made Joe basically put them on an even keel. And then after that, it's a best of 3. So there's still potentially 2 more games.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's I got confused there.
Yeah, as well. I also thought that it's going to be a bit different. But yeah, definitely makes sense. Because bobibobi basically made up for him coming from the losers bracket in the first win. And right now it's basically the full-on finals.
Exactly, yep.
Okay, GG.